I don't know about you, but the sign of a really good therapist or even a good friend is someone who asks you tough but good questions when you're trying to work through a problem. For me personally, it's the same with a stylist. So today I am pulling back the curtain. Oh God, that sounds so contrived. Today I am sharing the biggest style conundrums and challenges that I see in my personal styling sessions, and I'm sharing the questions that I would ask the client to help them work through the problem, and hopefully these help you if you're struggling with some of these style challenges as well. Welcome, my name is Alyssa. For those of you who are new, or even if you're not, I am a slow fashion stylist. I focus on helping people shop less but smart through loving who they already are and what they already have. And I also popularized the whole shop your closet concept. Let's get into these questions. I'm starting with the heaviest, eat the frog first, or whatever that came from a self-help book. I don't like a certain part of my body. How do I camouflage it? None of us are alone in this. The question that I ask in response to this is, what part of your body or your personality do you like? What do you want to show off? I actually have this question written on my intake form before I even meet with the client. I am shocked, but also not shocked at how many women respond with, I don't know, or I've never thought of this before, or I don't have that. I have a few reasons why I ask this. The first is because there is something amazing about you. In fact, there are probably a bajillion things that are amazing about you that don't necessarily have to do with your physique either. And I want you to see it. I want you to see whatever is unique to you and makes you interesting or special. And I want you to start thinking about highlighting it and showcasing it. The truth of the matter is that clothes look better on a person who knows how awesome they are and who feels comfortable in their own skin and ultimately in their clothes. Getting dressed and going shopping is so much easier when it's coming from a place of wanting to highlight versus wanting to hide. I also feel like that applies to life in general. If we are constantly focusing on what's making us feel like poop physically and mentally, then we're gonna dress for that state, and it's going to keep us in a negative mental state. It's scientifically proven that our clothes do affect our mood and how we feel about ourselves, but we also have to do some of that work too. And quite frankly, I don't have time to dress in a way that makes me feel bad about myself. We need to dress to kick ass and take names, as my dad would say, not to camouflage our thighs. And here's the cool thing that happens when you dress to highlight your favorite parts about you. Our outfit usually ends up camouflaging those parts that we're insecure about anyway. Let me give you an example. A member of my subscription community and friend allowed me to use these photos of her, so thank you, thank you. She is self-conscious about her chest and back. When we flipped the script to focus on showing off her legs by putting them in a shorter hemline, little A-line skirt, or for example, these shorts that have a little bit more volume, instantly her legs are in the spotlight, and that A-line silhouette balances out the top half. What we highlight also doesn't have to be physical. She is a super talented knitter, crochet, also talented seamstress. Here's a picture of her in a dress that she thrifted and then altered to fit her better. I've had the pleasure of meeting her in person thanks to our connection in my online community, and I have to say it's really amazing to see how proud and passionate she is about these incredibly creative projects. Now, I know we can't all take our favorite creative talents and turn them into clothes, but there are ways that we can highlight the non-physical things about ourselves or express them through our clothing. Another example is choosing a cool pair of glasses to express your intellectuality, or heirloom jewelry to honor the people who have come before you in your family and a heritage you're really proud of. I'm not saying we need to minimize our insecurities or ignore them. To be insecure is to be human. We all have things about ourselves that we don't like. And I believe that the journey to self-acceptance, to feeling good in your body, it's a process, and that looks different for everyone. Our insecurities are certainly part of our story, but they don't have to take over the whole narrative. Oh, this one's good. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to regret it. There are definitely a list of practical questions that I ask my clients, like, would you be able to go about your daily functions without this item? But there are 2 questions that I ask to help you make better choices in the future and to help you better understand your style. Why did you buy it in the first place? What attracted you to this item? The first question is meant to jog your memory, to see if it serves a functional styling purpose. Like, oh, I bought it for this event that I had, or I bought it for my new job. It also helps identify shopping triggers, like if you tell me you bought it because it was on sale, or when you were feeling sad, or when you were feeling really happy, or maybe you saw it on an influencer and just impulse bought it. Now we can identify why you make these decisions. That question can also spur some styling inspiration. For example, I bought it to go with my wide leg jeans. So then we can say, okay, great. What other wide leg or similar silhouettes do you have? Let's try this piece with those. It could be a wide leg trouser. It could be a maxi skirt. Once we figure out the element of style that you wanted to pair that question mark piece with, then we can just swap it out for other elements and see if you like any of those, if they solve any other problems or gaps in your wardrobe that you might not have already thought of. Maybe you realized that none of these work and that we're forcing the item. The other question, what attracted you to it, helps us figure out the elements of style that you gravitate to. This also helps us identify your general personal style tastes. If I ask you, what is it that you liked about that piece? Maybe you'll tell me it's the romantic vibe that you get when you put it on. Maybe it's the lace detail or the silhouette or the cut. Now we're pinpointing the fundamental elements of style that you like, and you can start using that as a way to build out your core style. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say elements of style, things like proportion, texture, use of color and silhouettes, then don't worry, I've got you covered. I did create a course. It's really short and it goes through all of these so that you can start seeing fashion and style in this way. I'll leave the link for you below, but you can also find it on the top menu bar here on YouTube under courses. It's not available in all countries though, so that's why check the description box if you're not seeing it. The question of flattering. The question I ask to this is, how do you feel in it? Forget about whether it's flattering or not. How do you feel? By your own standards. Do you like the way you look? Does it make you feel more attractive? How do you feel? I ask this question because it pulls the focus from figuring out what society wants us to look like this week. It recenters ourselves. When we feel good, it does show. When we give ourselves the silence and the space to actually ponder whether we like something or not, we know what makes us look and feel good. In most of my styling appointments, clients know what they like, but sometimes we do need that external validation to say, yes, you are on the right track, or yeah, your gut was right, we could do better. And that's totally okay. What I hope to achieve with this question is recentering ourselves, getting in touch with our own taste, and defining what attractive looks like to us. I believe that there are consistent ways that we want to show up in the world, that we do show up in the world. But I think the internet has an obsession with naming and typing our style, our bodies, our personalities. And that's cool too, if it gives you a guidepost. A lot of us dress for our mood every day, which changes. Questions that I like to ask: how would you describe yourself? Or how would a good friend describe you? And how would you want strangers to describe you if they saw you walking down the street? The first question is important because it honors the person who you currently are, and it brings qualities of your identity to the forefront. Ultimately, clothing is an expression of who we are on the inside. And if we don't know who we are on the inside, there can be a lot of disconnect and imbalance. How do you want to be seen? This brings aesthetics into the picture because ultimately fashion is a creative act. It can be art. And it is fun. Style isn't just about the clothes we wear, the way we show up in the world, the way we walk, the way we move, the way we laugh, the way we prepare our tea or coffee in the morning. We forget that the simple act of moving through life has its own style. Oof, I feel like that was a bit of a heavy one emotionally. I hope you're okay. Are you okay? That's what I have for you today. Thank you for watching and for listening. I hope this video gave you some insights. If you want to book a styling session, I will leave that in the description box below. A huge thank you for being here. As always, I so appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening or your morning or wherever you're at, and I will see you in the next slow fashion video. Ciao.